Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, June 14th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Nvidia, Misty, SMCI, PLTY, and and probably the rest of them, because that's what we do on Saturdays, even though we're half asleep. Snooze fest for me again. Snooze, 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 and yeah, woke up a half hour before this live. So give me bear with me as I drink coffee and cover these trades with you guys this morning. So yes, good morning to all of you that are attending the live at the moment. So thank you for being here. Let's get to it. So who had trades yesterday? As you can see, well, for those of you that are new to the channel, this is the download of the intraday trades, right? It comes out in a little different format because my programming friend was kind enough to help me out and make it look this way. So you can actually see like it doesn't say, BC or SS. It says the actual, the name written out and has a lot more details. But either way, for the most part, it's a similar layout. So TSLY had trades. I made the zoom on this bigger. I'm not sure if it's too big. Nvidia had trades. AMZ had trades. CONY had trades. Zone. Okay. Well, we're gonna get to all of them actually. But check out Misty, man. Misty kept me busy last night. Again, I got home from baseball late, and look at this. Look what I had to deal with. So you know what I'm gonna ask for? Yeah, you know. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. Simply out of sympathy. I need a sympathy like today. Look at the number of trades. Look at this. Woo-wee. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've seen, but it was bad for the time I got home. We'll just say that. SMCI had a decent amount of trades, and then PLTY's getting a lot of trades lately. So yeah, man, that's crazy. Brother says Zoom is good. Oh, he's on the phone. Okay, good to know. So, people listen to the live on the phone too. So, all right. So if I go back to Misty, again, I'm not going to cover Misty's trades on here too much, but you can kind of see what are they doing? Buy to close. Closing out trades, and they're rolling it for next week. And I got this question on Twitter, aka X, yesterday. Do they sometimes let their calls expire worthless? And the answer is no. And the reason is they want to use those contracts in order to open a position for next week. They don't want to open it on the Monday, right? They want to open it on the Friday or the week prior. That way they capture, we'll call it the juice of the time value throughout the weekend, right? They want all of the premium for every single second of every single day. So they're not going to let anything expire. They're going to roll that position. They're going to do a buy to close and then sell a new position with that new money. All right. Sound good? Hopefully that helped out. I know I already answered that guy on Twitter, but in case anyone else had that question. All right, let's go to Misty. So Misty has a bunch of synthetics. Actually, this 390 I need to hide. We covered this yesterday. They closed this sucker out. So we can say, hide sheet, buy sheet. All right, so, and now we have the 370. How you doing? Well, again, I don't think, they didn't touch any. Oh, no, they did. Okay, so they did add to this synthetic. Yeah, whoopie-do, 1,000 freaking contracts. They added to the synthetic 370. And it's doing well. Look at MSTR, man, 382. So it's got 35 days till expiration. And hopefully we'll make some money off it. They got another 370. This one expires in 28 days. And so far so good. And then of course they got a 380. How you doing? Well, at the money. I'm at the money. So yeah, all good in synthetic land. So let's get to the weekly tab and see the fun stuff here. So let's check out the price change for the day yesterday. MSTR ended up going up 0.82%. I mean, what a day, man, right? It was down. Everything was down. And then MSTR came up at the end of the day. Why? I don't know. Someone tell me, because I don't know. I saw it at the end of the day. I was like, all right, I'll take it. Right. So MSTR went up 0.82% and MSTY went up 0.71%. So decent capture. So let's go up to the top. All right. So I got various comments. I did ask for feedback, and a lot of you did say try to give more of a brief summary of the trades and how they did. And since I'm live, I am able to do that. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. You know, we won our trades. So I will highlight and give it real quick. So this bunch here, overall profit, 1.5 million. This bunch here, overall profit, 5.3 million. Again, if you look at the strikes as compared to the MSTR close price, 382, right? 382 is below all these strike prices. And since Friday was expiration date, essentially all the time value is almost gone. So you're just paying almost the difference, right? Well, obviously, we don't know what time they close to, but the time value is expensive for MSTR, even though the IV still sucks, but the time value is still expensive. So you can see, though, they paid, you know, everything's under, what, 40 cents for the most part. There's 37, whatever. Because, you know, 387.50 is obviously closer to the price. All right, moving on. Let's go down. Again, when I go live, it's a little easier to do it that way because I can quick highlight. So this trade here, again, they won a mil there. They won 1.9 mil here. They won about 3.8 mil there. Keep scrolling here. We got a bunch here. You know, again, you could see success. 8.1 million there. 2 million there. And then we got the butt buddies over here just chilling. You know, how you doing? Well, they ain't worth crap. For a few, they got what, 4 cents, 2 cents each. These others, they didn't even. They can let expire because it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter. So they're not worth crap. So it doesn't matter, right? Obviously, there's zero theirs. But yeah, for these, they did pull up an extra 14,000. How they even get that, I don't know. And then, yeah, everything else is for next week. So if you look at all the trades, they started opening them on the 12th. And obviously there's a few closures here. I'm not sure if that was from the other day. But they won another, what, 1.8 mil here. And then 2.1 there. So we won a lot. We won basically all of our trades. You saw yesterday there was a few that we lost. But, you know, it was a really good week. And I meant to text Scott, and I will. He did really good this week. That's my opinion. I mean, it's shown here. This is a really, really good week. So it was a crazy week, and we made a decent amount of money throughout. I think next week's another week. So, but since it's Saturday, we can soak it all in, enjoy it. We made some money. Our fund's doing what it needs to do, right? Selling covered calls, making money on the weekly, synthetics in a good spot. It's all good. It's all good. It's all right. All right, let's go over here. Let's see if their outstanding shares increased. Oh, whoopee-doo. A creation unit was added. 25,000 additional outstanding shares. All right. Who bought some yesterday? Not me. All right. So here's the recap, suckers. We have Misty closing price 21.15. Hey, not bad, not bad at all. MSTR closing price 382.87. I'll take it. 30-day IV. Oh yeah, let's check the change from. Well, yesterday it was at what? It went from 49.8 to 49.36, and guess what? We're back in the 50s. Hallelujah! 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 So our IV is 52.34%. I know that's not a lot still, but I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Get out of the 40s, brah. We don't want the 40s. We want the 50s. We want the 60s. Come on, let's go. Get this freaking IV up, man. All right, I'm taking a sip of coffee. All right, that cup's gone. I'm screwed now, but we'll do our best. We'll try to get through this video. It's going to be a long one, so just bear with me. If you watch the whole thing, then you're awesome. I'll thank you ahead of time. All right, outstanding shares 225 mil, 800,000. Total net income 68.3 mil. We are making bank, brah. All right, let's go. Total distribution from that 30 cents. Total daily income 3 cents a day. Daily yield 0.12%. And if you annualize that, sucker, 43%. So again, if you look, they try to yield, right? Yield what their IV is, right? And if you look, overall, based on the profit, they're actually close to the IV. That means like they're almost at like 100% freaking success rate here, making bank, brah. So again, it's just a good week. It was a good week. That's the moral of the story. If you want to skim through the video, it was a good week. All right, here's the layout of the various MSTR funds. And if you guys know of any that have gotten added to the group, please let me know. And by the way, I need a freaking spreadsheet nerd to tell me how to give me the one with the greatest value besides doing like 20 if then formulas, right? Because I didn't pick up, I guess I could do another if formula, but there's got to be a better way, like max value or something. I don't know. Anyway, so MSTR, it did go up 0.82%. Misty captured 0.71. Winter went down as expected. IMST actually captured more. It actually beat MSTR. It went up 0.94%. Good job, IMST. MST, as expected, went up even more because, again, it is a leveraged fund. It went up 1.96%. And similar to MS2, they went up 1.22%. But overall, out of these funds, well, do we want to count MST since it's leveraged, or should we just do the comparison with MS2, IMST, and Misty? I don't know, man. For now, I guess we'll leave all four. So obviously, the nod will go to MST as it's shown. You guys let me know. Like, for the comparison, who do we want to compare? Obviously, I'm not adding Winter on there. They're kind of inverse fun. We know that. But should we compare Misty, IMST, MST, and MS2? Or should we only compare Misty and IMST? Or should we compare Misty, IMST, and MS2? I don't know. You guys let me know. Because the only ones that are kind of similar for the most part are IMST and Misty. But someone gave me either do max sells or max if. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll have to look into that. Preparing for retirement. I love the name, by the way. Yeah, Ripping Silk. Bank brah for sure. Reaction. I don't even know. No, I did update it. Okay, I did this last night. Winner chicken dinner, right? Before Scott and the gang, they left for the day. They had a little post-it pad. This is what they wrote. And then they signed off. They said, peace out. Peace out, son. All right, Group D declares when? July 2nd. All right, July. Good month. 18 days away. All right, let's talk about payment information. Let's see if this updated. Yeah, it did. All right, we're looking good. Synthetics, again, they're not making bank, brah. A lot of losses on the synthetic, but hey, that may turn around. You never know. Weekly income, 68 point. I know this spreadsheet's a lot, by the way. So if you guys have questions that are here on the live, let me know. All right, I'll try to keep an eye on it. But I don't really ever go into too much detail on this spreadsheet. I always just assume everyone knows what I'm talking about and referencing. But hey, let me know. And also don't know if the zoom is good enough here. It could probably be a little bigger. But the weekly income is 68.3 mil. Oh, I'm getting some feedback. All right, so screw comparisons. Misty is the GOAT. I mean, it's kind of right? Yeah, brother, I agree. But, I think MS2, it's only half leverage. So, and then they sell covered calls. Nested with a VLOOKUP. Yeah. I drop MST from the comparison. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so anyway, they're making 30 cents. We talked about that, right? 30 cents per share so far. So all things being equal, the Rodamator will tell you they'll make about 76 cents per share when all said and done. And that comes to about a 47% yield, which is almost in line with their IV. But most of you are going to say that's a bowl of suck, and I don't disagree. If we look at their current IV of 52%, that would yield 85 cents. So between the two amounts, they're both under $1. So, you know, before we all freak out, let's relax. We got more time left. Maybe we can make that, you know, over $1, hopefully, right? But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I feel like Bitcoin's been like chilling in this little zone for so long, and it's just going to blow at some point. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but all right. So let's get to the holding information here over here now. All right. So again, how's the Zoom here? I know that I didn't ask on this particular one. Is this good enough on the phone, brother AB? Let me know. Because if I make it bigger, I don't know. It's a little harder to scroll on these files. But yeah, BTC is consolidating to go up, but who knows? Well, MSTR, it should, unless they have like bad news, you know, company wise. But all right, thanks, brother AB. Says it's still good. So hopefully this is still good for you guys. All right, so let's go to the trades again. All of these trades that they open, they expire next week. There is this lingering one, right? This is just, again, like I said, the buy call. Remember all those ones I shaded in black, right? Over here now. I keep saying that. And I'm sorry if my voice is like groggy, because again, I'm not kidding. I just wake up. These, again, they didn't sell them. They cut, probably not even worth a penny. So if you can't even get a penny, you know, let it expire. I know it shows a penny, but it probably like actually goes out further. If you look at the top left here, it's 0.005. So yeah, these calls that they bought, they're just expiring worthless. This will drop off on the Tuesday download. But for now, it's just chilling. It's in our way, but we'll ignore it. Everything else expires on June 20th, right? So obviously, we'll talk about those trades. So if we go over here, we can see the first strike is 387.50. That's the lowest strike. It's 1.21% out of the money. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? This is like no wiggle room. I mean, the highest strike price is 400. It's 4.47% out of the money. But again, when the IV is what it is, it's like a normal stock almost. Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? So yeah, they're scattered-do, but they're tight, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4% out of the money, man. What's going on? MSTR, all right, don't go up yet. Just take a chill pill, relax next week too. You can go up a little bit, but man, oh man, I mean, at least we do need the credit call spreads in this scenario, because they could easily just blow through this immediately. And if they do, for example, on the Monday or Tuesday, that's when they'll probably close these and these together, right? And kind of just take it, you know, avoid too much of a hit, move the calls upwards in order to capture more of the upside. But we'll see how that plays out for next week. But again, looking at the picture, you know, it's kind of rough looking at those numbers at the moment. All right, so what about our synthetic? We got any gold diggers here? Oh man, we do. Not really, actually, because again, it's above 370. It's just expensive. It looks expensive, right? Because it's 80,000 contracts. All right, on the 370, 718. If you go down here, 370, 718, 273 mil, right? So obviously the dude has more money than the chick. So I don't call that a gold digger. All right, that's a solid relationship right there. So no singing for me. A shout out to Venus from MJ and Venus. I know you wanted me to sing, but I'm probably not going to be able to. But there's your shout out anyway. How's that? Anyway, so if we look at the synthetic over here, is anything worth bank, bruh? Well, 52 cents. Okay, the 370, kind of what we just talked about, right? The one that expires 718. So again, if they roll these into a new position, that's what they'd make approximately per share, which is not really that much money, right? But it's something. It's a good spot, right? Again, their synthetics are in a good position, and we're winning on the weeklies. That's what more can we ask for? Again, we got low IV. It is what it is, but we're doing well. The fund is performing rather well. The value of the fund is 4.7 mil. The NAV is 2110, trade price 2115. And total synthetic contracts for MSTY is 123,000. Total contracts they're selling calls on. Let me just double check this. Again, I'm assuming I did this correctly, but you never know, man. All right, that's good, man. I like this actually. They're only selling calls on 80% of the positions. I like that. All right, so and then they got the credit call spreads on 17% of those positions. All right, is that it? Again, I got to double check myself because, yeah, okay. So they don't have many buddies. They don't have many insurance plays here, but again, they do have 20% on cap, so it could capture a lot of that upside. All right, all right. So catching up here. I don't know, Doug. I don't know. I don't, but I don't look for it either, man. I don't have time to really look at the news, honestly. Maybe I rely on you guys tell me a lot of that. Yeah, this is ridiculously tight. Oh, glad you heard. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching. But yeah, I probably can't sing anyway because the baby's sleeping. So IMST, let me just say thank you, Alien. Yes, that's his name on Discord. His name is Alien. His picture is an alien. But he helped me out and he gave me the formula. Look at this formula. I mean, how am I supposed to figure this out? I'm not. I'm not. One day when I'm retired from my full-time job, I will learn more about spreadsheet coding and this and that. I have to, obviously, because I deal with it a lot. Oh, wait, did the holdings update? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't know. Maybe it's just this line. All right. Anyway, guys, this is IMST. These are their holdings. They're a competitor to Misty, which is why we talk about them, because why not, right? We want, see the 1411 moved up here. This is a synthetic position, and I tried to highlight duplicates and it's not doing that. So now I got to do it myself. All right. So I'm going to do that. And then we got 1/7. Anytime you see the same number of contracts, this is going to represent the synthetic position for the most part, right? So I'm going to make that red font for now. Actually, that doesn't do it justice visual wise. No, that doesn't work either. All right, blue kind of works. So anything in blue is going to represent their synthetic. And then what's left over would be the covered calls. Again, I updated this last night, but apparently their holdings did change. Yeah, man. Well, again, they do have the synthetic, which will bring it up, and they do have the 20% on cap. So even if it does go up, we're going to go up, but just not all the way with it. But yeah. All right. So IMST real quick. This in orange, just ignore their synthetics. They got a whole bunch of synthetics and they expire. Wow. They got one that goes out to September. Good for them. That's pretty good. And then most of the others expire next week on June 20th. Besides that, they got covered calls, 1%, 5%, and 7% out of the money. So we'll see how that goes for them. Again, as we track them throughout the week. The value of their fund, still rather small, 77 mil. Well, that's not really small, but you know what I mean compared to Misty. But they're new. They're brand new. Synthetic contracts, this is not updated, and I'm not going to waste your time doing that. But that's where IMST stands. MST, again, this is a leverage fund. Doesn't really make sense to cover this in detail by holdings. That's my opinion. You guys feel free to give me, so I may honestly just stop the coverage on the holdings on this. I may just keep the holdings informational in case you guys have questions, but they do sell calls and, they're in the money. A lot of them, if you can see here, their furthest out is 3% out of the money, but again, comparatively, it's a different fund. And then look at MS2, man. There's just they don't have a position. They don't have a position heading through the weekend. Again, this is so interesting. So we got to ask them about it. I got to go through there. Well, to be honest, look at the holdings. I mean, look at the treasury bill. It's even and the cash. Maybe my formula's screwed up. How I'm pulling this, I don't know, but I'm moving on. I can't waste any more time. All right, so that's Misty. Now we can go on to the others. Sorry, I know Misty always takes forever, and the people that don't own Misty are yelling at me right now in their head. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Dumpster. Darth Brooks says MSTY lawsuit is a nothing burger. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is MS2 0 DTE? No, they sell weeklies on 50% of the position. Weeklies or bi-weekly. I don't know what I think they have. I think they could do what they want. All right, so let's look at TSLY. TSLY bought a close 559. Well, that sucks. That's not a winning trade. Look at the strike 325 versus the closing price 325, and that seems very expensive, to be honest. But again, Tesla, from what I saw yesterday, it was down with everything else, but then I don't know what happened, but it went back up, and probably that's kind of what happened. They closed it at that point. Bought a close here. Oh, they won this position. It only cost them 5 cents. Bought a close 527. They did not win that one. 698. Yep, that was a 325 as well. 715. This was a 320 that got blown through. So yeah, unfortunately, TSLY lost a lot of their trades. Oh, they won this one 2 cents. That's the beauty of being scattered. 735 lost that one. Man, look at all these freaking trades. Is this nuts or what? 2 cents won that trade. 23 cents won that one. 648 lost this one. 9 cents won that one. Damn, 971. Oh, look at the strike. 315. That sucks. 3 cents. This was a 347.50. Wow. And then 6 cents. So overall, let's check out the numbers here if I highlight everything. Oh my God. Talk about a lot of trades. Yeah, TSLY brought in about 1.2 mil yesterday. A cool 1.2 mil. A cool. All right, let's get to the TSLY files. All right, so if we scroll down, let's see how they did yesterday. If I could scroll. All right, so Tesla ended up 1.91%. TSLY ended up 1.21%. So yeah, not ideal. It's only a 63% capture, but yeah, is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Kind of, yeah. Honestly, kind of awkward. MS2. Yeah, you know what? While we're on this subject, real quick, I don't want to waste anyone's time. Yeah. So here's their website. So yeah, okay. So I am pulling it right. They are holding 3 different. I don't know. We'll have to ask them. Or Scott, if you're watching, let me know. Scott, there's a lot of Scotts. The other Scott. All right. So if we look at the TSLY holdings, sorry, back to the synthetic, how they doing up there? Well, they got a 320. That's doing all right. They got a 335 and a 340. Not so much, man. Not so much. But this expires July 18th. They do have time. So it's like a half a gold digger. You take my money. So that's what you get. And yeah, hopefully it turns out all right. But we'll see. All right, let me get rid of this comment. Keep forgetting. All right. Again, for those of you that are live, there's 211 of you. Thank you for being here. If you have questions on any of the data as I cover it, I will try to keep an eye out on your question and cover it while it's fresh. That's up to you. Of course, if there's time at the end, we'll do Q&A. But like I said, this is going to be a long video. It is what it is. So the people watching after, they're just going to have to fast forward if they don't like the yip yap. Anyway, So here's the positions for Tesla for next week. They got a lot of them, man. They got a lot. They got a lot. I like it a lot. All right. The lowest strike is at 330, 1.44% out of the money. The highest strike price is 350. That's 7.59% out of the money. So what are they? Do you guys know? What's the answer? Scattery-doo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7% out of the money. Do you believe that? Do you believe a miracle? No, I don't know, man. We'll see how next week goes. But Tesla's up, down, all around. We can't control it. The value of the TSLY fund, 1.1 bill. If you care, the NAV is 828. Trade price exact. All right. Synthetic on the paper is worth negative, so we'll skip over that. 30-day IV, 63%. I mean, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic IV for Tesla, right? I think so. IV estimate based on that, 41 cents. Income estimate, unfortunately, it's in the negative, but yes, at least I updated it. In Group A, they got time, declares in 25 days on July 9th. All right, all right. So moving on. Let's move on. Nvidia's obviously next, but let's see. I'm assuming they had trades, but we're going to go through the other ones too. All right, we got our boy OARC here. Again, the out of the money formula just doesn't work, and I've gotten to the point of not caring. So whatever, we'll just do buy to close 4 cents. Okay, they won their trade. Buy to close 4 cents. All right, good job. Buy to close 3 cents. All right, OARC winning their trades, 18 cents, and good job for the week. And then here's Nvidia right after it. All right, it's in order. In case you guys did not know, when you pull up the trades from the website, it's in order of launch, right? Launch date. So. Which is okay. I think it's good because you kind of get familiar with what's where. But anyway, here's Nvidia, buy to close 2 cents. Yeah, right. Look at the strike, 146. Look at the close price, 141. So what do you think? Yeah, of course. Pennies on the freaking dollar, man. They have to pay something to close it, right? Because they want to use the shares for next week. So of course, even though like this is so far away, this is not worth anything. They're going to have to pay. They still have to pay to close it because, again, they want to close it and use the shares for next week. And that's what they did, right? They rolled these 3,150 contracts right here. This is the other part of the side, right? New expiration date next week and new strike price, although it's actually the same strike price, which is pretty cool. And this is how much they made, right? All for moving it up a week. So pretty sweet. Anyway, moving on. Buy to close is this one cost them a penny. I mean, nice. 3 cents here. So it looks like they pretty much won all their trades. Let's keep going. 4 cents, 3 cents, 3 cents. Good. It's a good day for Nvidia holders. Penny. Look at that penny. 2 cents. 2 cents. Chump change, man. Why do we want to pay? Why do we want to pay very little when closing a position? Because again, it's going to offset against whatever we got, whatever credit we got when we opened it. You know, we're going to subtract out this little debit it costs to close it. And the net between the two, that's our profit that we made on the trade. So winner, winner, chicken freaking dinner for Nvidia. That's what I say. Anyway, we'll look at the new trades for next week in the file, though. So don't worry. Don't worry. I didn't skip that. Don't worry, gosh. All right, so how did Nvidia do yesterday? Nvidia went down 2.13%. Nvidia went down 1.73%. So it was a down day. What can you do? It was red. LA's got to run. Have a good one. LA appliance guy, man. He's a YouTuber. You got to check him out. If you want to be handy, you want to be a man's man, be able to fix your washers, your dryers, your refrigerators, you got to go to his channel, man. That ain't here. I ain't handy. I know a little bit about a little bit. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. That's pretty much how I roll here. All right. Anyway, if you look at the synthetic positions on Nvidia, they got a 120. They got a 130. What's Nvidia at? 141. So what do we call this, guys? We call this making bank, brah. Even though it's on paper, we are making bank, brah. When we cash this sucker out, ooh-wee, we're going to be like, yo, sup. Check out my distro. Yeah, where you at? All right. So if we look at the new trades for next week, how you doing? Well, kind of low. Lowest strike, 145, 2.13% of the money. The highest one doesn't give it too much more justice. It's a 149 at 4.95% of the money. But to be honest, has Nvidia really been moving that much? Not really. So maybe it's okay, but just in case, they do got the little butt buddies down here, the backup, the security, the insurance, the credit call spreads, as the nerds call them, right? What do they do? They, in case they get their strikes get blown through, these guys got their back. They got their back, right? The Nvidia nerds over here, you know, we got your back. We got your back in case they blow through the strikes. So make sense? All right, good. If not, you got to ask. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of new subscribers coming in, and sometimes I speak too fast. Sometimes I speak too slow. You guys got to give me the feedback, but sometimes it's all over the place. There's Kieran. Good morning, Kieran. So the value of the Nvidia fund is 1.5 bill. The NAV is 1620. Trade price 1621. Synthetic on the paper. Are you ready? Hold on. Are you ready? Bow to the masters. Break it. All right, it's 198. Sorry, I got a little excited. It's $1.98 per share. Look at that. Again, it's on paper. Yeah, we know. They didn't close it, so let's get real here. But when they do, it's gonna be a pretty sweet day. 30-day IV of Nvidia, 36%. IV estimate based on that, 46 cents. They already made income of $1.37 per share. And guess what, guys? They declare next week. So you know what? Tomorrow morning, I got to come up with a number. I got to say, okay, I think Nvidia is going to pay this. If I say $1.37, that's 109% yield. And I may be close to that number, right? I haven't thought about it, but you know, that's what they made. Why not pay over 100% if you can, right? Right? Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, like I said, June 18th, they'll declare. All right, sound good? Up next, nope, we got to wait. Coneheads, sorry, you got to wait, Coneheads. We're going to go through these other suckers, and then we'll go from there. All right. So AMSI, how you doing? We're about to close 6 cents. That's a win. AMSI's doing good. About to close 16 cents. Winner, chicken freaking dinner. So let's see their calls. How far are they going out of the money? The new one, 2.55%. And same thing, 2.55%. So, yeah, not bad. Again, Amazon don't move much. Oh, you guys got to check out GUI, man. GUI about to close 6 cents. Check this out. I don't want to jump ahead here, but look at this. GUI has made $1.36 per share so far. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something good. So good job if you hold GUI. You may be making bank, brah, on that next payment. All right, Netflix about to close 4 cents. Netflix about to close 33 cents. They won their trades. Let's check out their new call for next week. Ooh, tight. 0.85% out of the money. All right, let's check this one out. 1.68% out of the money. A little better. But again, Netflix, don't move next week. All right, Coneheads, we are here. Coneheads. Want to do to your cone? All right. Turn my little heater back on. Not in the garage, but still have a heater here. Always have a heater. Anyway, buy to close 1 cent. 1 cent. Did we win? Yeah. Hello. Look at the strike. 255. Close price 242. So yeah, obviously this ain't worth a damn. So we paid a penny. $5,700. So yeah, in your face. Then we got buy to close 2 cents, 3 cents. So winner, chicken freaking dinner. Coney heads, you won. You can wear your cone proud this weekend. You should wear your cone. Wear it in public, all right? But don't get a tattoo because you know what'll happen. All right, so anyway, coin went up 0.68% yesterday. Coney went up 0.26%. Yeah, that kind of sucks. It's not a lot, but 37% capture? What's up with that? Whatever, man. Whatever, brah. All right, let's take a look at the synthetic. The synthetic they're holding is a 250. It's a 250, but it expires August 15th. So we really don't care too much because we got time. Coin is at 242, by the way. All right, so let's go over here. Let's check out our calls for next week. Again, all of these expire next Friday, June 20th. First strike price, lowest strike price, 247.50. That is 1.97% out of the money. The highest of the strike prices is at 265, 9.18% out of the money. So they're scattered to do. They are 1, 3, 5, 6, and 9% out of the money. And they do have credit call spread just in case, but they are positioned much wider than the others for sure. For sure. All right, the value of the CONY fund is 1.1 bill. That's NAV and the 771 per share. Trade price same. Synthetic on the paper. Unfortunately, it's a negative, so we won't talk about that. 30-day IV of coin is 50%. IV estimate based on that is 30 cents. Income estimate so far 17 cents, which is only a 28% yield, but they still have a little time, 11 days till expiration. They really just have till next week to make bank, bra. And if they don't, they'll probably just yield what the IV is, which is 30 cents, which, yeah, that's rough. But, you know, what do you want? It's a $7 freaking stock at this point. All right. So anyway, yeah, they declared June 25th. Up next normally is SMCY, but we're going to go through the trades because that's what we do on the Share Day show. It's Share Day, right? Let's check out the chat real quick, see what's going on. Is everyone still awake here? Let's see. Polar Bear says, great morning. Ant wants to know anyone in PLTW. And that's it. All right. Everyone's just chilling, listening, I guess, drinking their coffee. It is early. Well, it's early where I'm at least. Well, is it really early? Is 7 early? I don't know. But right now it's a weekend though. That's what you got to consider. Buy to close on, oh no, we did CONY. What's below CONY? MSFO, buy to close, 30 cents. Good job, MSFO. Buy to close, 15 cents. They won their trades. And so they opened a new position for next week. They're selling a call right here, 0.53% out of the money. Ooh. And this one is 1% out of the money. So tight. But again, I would imagine Microsoft's IV is super low as well at this very moment. Up next is Zomo. Ooh, buy to close 227 and buy to close 235. So their strikes, unfortunately, got blown through, but not by much. Their new positions for next week, 2% out of the money, and one of them is actually already in the money. That's not good. So Zomo, yeah, we want you to chill next week, I guess. Let's see. All right, JPMO, your favorite bank. Buy to close 18 cents. That's a win. Yeah. 2 cents. That's a win. 12 cents. All right. They got more down here? No. All right. So what about their new positions? Let's see how far out of the money they're able to go. 1.91% out of the money, 0.96, and 1.91. Not much again, but you got to imagine the IVs on these is pretty low. AMDY, buy to close a penny and 3 cents. Yeah. Good job. They whooped ass. All right, their new positions for next week, 2.44 and 3.3% out of the money. I think is it raining out? If it's raining, I won't have baseball practice this morning, and maybe I can get my fat ass to the gym. All right, PP, how you doing? Let's see. Buy to close, 16 cents. Buy to close, 2 cents. Buy to close, 2 cents. Yeah, PP won. I won. All right, so what about their new positions though, right? Let's see. This one, 3% out of the money. This one, 3% out of the money. So PP making some space here, right? Selling calls, 3% out of the money. All right. Not bad. Considering looking at these other suckers. All right. XYZY, the worst ticker in history. Buy to close 3 cents. All right. That's a win. And new trade for next week. Selling call, 64, 3.95% out of the money. All right, probably what they can do. All right, up next, your favorite fund of all, Murny. Actually, let's check the price update. We go to the left. Oh my God, $2.47. Wow, wowza, danger. All right, so let's see if they won their trades. Buy to close 3 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents. So did they win their trade? Yeah, they won their freaking trades. Yeah, they did. Penny here, penny there. So are they making bank, brah? Yeah, they're making bank, brah. Yeah, they're making bank, brah. Yeah, they're making bank, brah. All right, so they're selling calls for next week. Where are we at here? Okay, almost 5% out of the money on that one. 3% out of the money on that one. 5%. All right, that's good, Murny holders, right? I know there's a lot of you out there. That's why this fund still exists. 3% out of the money and 3% out of the money. Okay, let's see how you do for next week. There's Misty. We can skip through that. All right. Buy goat. All right. Buy to close 2 cents. Buy to close 1 penny. And penny. YBit. Good job. YBit won their trades. They are for next week. They are 3.78 and 2.11% out of the money. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, so GDXY. All right, how you doing? Again, I love this fund. I just don't invest in it because I'm doing my own options, right? You know, I got one account. I got pretty much all the freaking weeklies, you know, mostly index related. And then my other account, I'm just doing options. I'm having fun, though. It's a fun time. And we'll get to that at the end. I'll show you. I actually didn't even look at the result. So I'm going to go through the results of my options trades with you guys live. All right. So by the close, 117. Yeah, man. That's not good. Yeah, they lost that trade. Look at it. Look at the strike. They're at 53. It closed at 54.46. I don't know what the price was when they closed it, but it looks to be probably an overall loss on the trade. And the new position is only not even 1% out of the money for next week. So it's going to be a rough one for GDXY. We'll see. SMCY, by the close 13 cents, by the close 11 cents. That's definitely a profit. And calls for next week, 3 and 3% out of the money, 3.28% out of the money. ABNY. All right, by the close 15 cents. Good. Check. Mike check 1, 2, and 2. New trade 1.81% for next week. Inverse funds, who cares? TSMY by the close 3 cents. By the close 3 cents, they won their trades. And next calls for next week for TSMY 1% and 1 to 3% out of the money. So again, a lot of tight strikes because why? Well, because the IV is low in the market. We got to get this market pumping, man. Pump it up, you know? So, all right, here we are to SMCY. SMCY suckers. That's what we call them, right? Suckers. Here's a question by Boz. What's up, Boz? We want strikes above for synthetics, below for weeklies. No, we want, well, it's the opposite, actually. They're going to open the synthetic at the money, right? Which is pretty much the price at the time of the underlying. But ideally, yes, we want the underlying price to be above the synthetic at all times, if possible. And then at the same time, as we sell calls on a weekly basis, ideally, we would want the underlying to be priced just below the strike price of the weekly. That way, essentially, we're making almost maximum profit on the synthetic while paying, pennies to close out the position. While again, keep in mind, we're getting the credit every time we open the weekly call position. We're getting that credit. So we just want to pay minimal to close it and then open the new one for next week and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. We want to go up slowly. We want slow upside. And again, with MSTR, that's impossible. That's a big ask. But sometimes it just works. Like when we trade flat, when we're flat, oof, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. Right now, we're doing good. All right. Anyway, let's go to SMCY. How you doing? By the close 3 cents. By the close 1 penny. By the close 2 cents. By the close 2 cents. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. By the close 2 cents. So yeah, they won their trades. Look at the strikes. 43, 44. They closed at 41. So winner, man. They did good. Good job. All right. So let's go to the main file, though. Let's see how they did for the day. SMCI, yeah, they had a rough one at it. That's why they won their trade. See, it went down 4.33%. SMCY went down 4.16%. So yeah, man, hey, it is what it is. But this is ugly. They have a synthetic that expires on Friday, actually June 20th. It's a 45 and SMCI is at 41. So when they close that synthetic, yeah, it'll cost them a pretty penny. And then they'll open the new position, which will obviously expire further out. Similar to the other funds, was it Misty or one of the others? They had a buy call. They just left there, right? Not worth a damn. It says 2 cents. They probably couldn't get someone to pay them money for it. So they just left it there, going to expire. But here's their new positions for next week. They got a 43 and a 43.50, 3 and 4% out of the money. So we'll see how that plays out for next week. Scrolling down, value of SMCI is 188 mil. The NAV sits at 1871. Trade price 1875. Synthetic on paper, it's in the negative. 30-day IV, 65%. IV estimate based on that, 94 cents. Income estimate, 21 cents, which is 14% yield. Not much. Group D declares win 18 days on July 2nd. Up next is your boy PLTY. How you doing, PLTY? PLTY posse in the house. All right, let's go down. Here we go. All right. Let's keep going. Buy to close, 262. A little expensive. Their strike, it looks like it just got blown through. That's unfortunate. Same thing here, 287. Oh, here's a buy to close, 9 cents. That was a 139. That was safe. Again, they closed at 137. Here's a buy to close, 311. Oh, this was even worse. This has that 136 strike. So, yeah, PLTY, you win some, you lose some. So they won some and they lost some. Let's take a look at the price movement in the stock. Palantir, they had a green day. They went up 1.61%. PLTY went up 1.32%. So all in all, 82% capture. I always say the goal should be around 80%, and they met that goal. So PLTY, synthetic, how you doing? Well, it's a 115 and Palantir is at 137. How do you think they're doing? They're doing awesome. They're making bank, bro. Look at the dude down here, 106 mil in his pocket, and the girl wants 9 mil. So no gold digger here, dating a broke ass. So right here, PLTY, what kind of strikes they got? They got a 140, a 141, 142, 143. 1, 2, 3, and 4% out of the money. Is that safe? Well, not really. But we'll see. We got to see how the week goes. They are kind of scattered, but I don't know, man. Again, all these strikes are tight. The market really needs to, I don't know, go up slow for a little bit till we get some IV juice. The value of PLTY, $500 million, almost at 600 mil. It's at 597 mil. The NAV is 66.98. Trade price 67.40. Synthetic on the paper is worth 10.87 per share. It's insane. I know, it's ridiculous. This fund is killing it. The IV of the fund, the underlying 55%. IV estimate based on that 287. They declare, guess what? Next week. So I got to come up with a guesstimate. If I base it on income, you ain't getting paid nothing because it's a negative amount. But however, we have to keep in mind a couple things. How much did they make overall since they launched? They did not pay out. That I don't know because I don't track it. But I just remember, obviously I recall that, and looking at the price, yeah, they did not pay out everything they made. There's no way. And then, because they launched at 50, they're at 66. Also, you got to look at the IV. What's the IV? What's the payout of the IV? It shows to be 287. Are they gonna pay 287? Me personally, I think they're gonna pay more. What is that number? I don't know. I'll give it to you tomorrow when I think about it. All right. So that's the update on PLTY. Let's go through the rest of the trades, and then we're going to cover my options trade and see how they did for the week. And then we'll do Q&A if you guys want at the end, if you have time. By the way, thank you all who are still here during the live. I said this was going to be a long video, and it is. Live true to it. We're 53 minutes in. Can't wait to have another cup of coffee. Buy to close 2 cents, buy to close 2 cents, buy to close 2 cents. Buy to close 2 cents. Okay, what does that mean? This is Marrow, and they won their trades. Good job, Marrow. Their opening positions for next week. Oh, wow, 6% out of the money. 6% out of the money. Maybe they got some good IV over there. And then 3% out of the money. Okay. All right. Hey, not bad, not bad. All right, CVMY. This one's been doing pretty good. Buy to close 20 cents, 22 cents, 24 cents. Yeah, they won their trades. All right, what are they selling calls on next week? Let's see. They got 2.68% out of the money, 5.21% out of the money. That's pretty good. And another 5.21%. Good job. All right, they got some wiggle room. There's Winter just chilling. Yeah, again, I don't cover the inverse. Sorry. Maybe someone else will. Someone should. Why not? They should make a channel on just the inverse funds. I'm sure they'd get some people. There's a lot. Or maybe there is someone out there. I don't know. If there is, send your channel over. Link it to my throw it on my Discord under the shared channel section so other people can hear about you. Or if you're here, throw it in the freaking comments, right? All right. Yeah. Be Rich got it right. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Again, today's a sympathy like. So whether you like the video or not, it's a sympathy like, right? It doesn't mean you actually like it. It just means you feel bad for me, right? After all those damn trades. All right. Buy to close 3 cents, buy to close 2 cents, buy to close 4 cents, buy to close 3 cents. This is our favorite ticker. Yeah. Robin Hood. All right. How you doing? Well, their calls for next week, 6% out of the money, 4% out of the money, 4% out of the money, and what else? 3% out of the money. Okay. All right. I guess, right? I don't know. Whatever. All right. They're right. And then here's Ulti. Good God. You know who to watch for Ulti. ETF Inspector. Not sure if he's here, but go to his channel. He covers Ulti. He covers a whole crap load of funds that I don't. You guys getting dizzy yet? Oh my God. Wow. That was Ulti. Here's LFGY. Oh my God. Here's GPTY. Oh my God. Here's the zero. These are the zero DTEs. STTY, QDTY, and RDTY. And then we got who? Chippity. Wow. Chippity Doodah. Not that many trades. And here's that YMAG, that European fund. Not sure what's in it. Well, I guess we see right here, Tesla, Texas Instruments is in it. Okay. It's not really YMAG then, right? It's not the Mag 7. It's their own mag whatever, right? They're making up it's probably just I don't know why they use that ticker, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So that's the update on the YieldMax funds. So unless you guys have any questions, then we will move on to my options trades. Mono says he's looking forward to my guesstimates tomorrow. Me too. Can't wait to fill it in later when I get a chance. So we'll see, man. All right, we're going to the options. Let's go. Hello, everybody. This is Retire on Dividends Options Guy. How can I help you? All right, so what do we got going here? Again, it's people say, oh, you got to separate the videos. It'll do better. I'm like, I know. Who the hell got time for that? Not me. So unfortunately for now, this is how it's going to be. It's a combination video. What can I do? And if it's sucking for now because of this, it is what it is. But yes, of course, I'd prefer to separate this video because I know some people watch this, some people watch the other. So the people watch this, they don't even know probably that I'm doing this, but hopefully they find out. So I don't know. It is what it is, guys. All right. So TSLL, what happened? All right. So again, I got a lot of I didn't look at any of this, just so you guys know. So I'm finding out with you. So let's scroll down. Let's see what TSLL closed at. 1265. They closed at 1265. Okay. So if I scroll up, we got to remember that number, 1265. Type it in the chat, 1265, 1265, 1265, 1265. We're going to type it in the chat, 1265. All right. So I sold puts, a bunch of them, 11, 10, whatever. All right. So this 11, right? Is that under 1265? Yes, it is. So what does that mean? That means this put expired worthless. All right. So I will go over here. The action is expired worthless. All right. Moving on. This is a put. $10 put is 1265 above $10. Yep. All right. Expired worthless. See, pretty simple. All right. Moving on. Here's another put. TSLL put expired yesterday. $9. Obviously well under 1265. So that expired worthless. All right. And now we got this put. Okay. This is a $13 put. All right. Is 13 greater than 1265? And anyone? Yes, it is. So I would expect this to be assigned. So I'm going to mark that as assigned. What does assigned mean? It just means that they take my collateral, right, that I posted for this trade, and they say, all right, give me that. And they give that 1,300. And they say, all right, here's your shares. Here's your 100 shares at $13, and we'll give the 1,300 to the buyer. All right. Sound good. All right. or the buyer who exercised their position. All right, moving on down here. This one right here, this 11, I rolled this into next week. Why? Well, why not, right? Get some juice out of it. It was going to sell, right, at 11. Obviously, the price being at 12.65, it would have just sold at 11. Do I want to do that? Mm-hmm. All right, let me just double check the comments as we're getting to the end. All right, we got some. JD Invest says, thanks for covering your options. I love the wheel and seeing how others do theirs. Do you plan on including UDAO? I don't know. What is that, a triple leverage on the Dow? I don't really talk about the Dow. Is the Dow have it? I don't know. What's the IV on UDAO? Anyone want to look that up for me? Let me know. But I don't know. Maybe. I guess I could, right? Wouldn't hurt to add it to the list. And I got to make room on this index tab here. Could put UDAO. Here, let's see. Actually, let's just do it now. Copy that. Make a little spot right here. Squeeze it in. Let's see. Yeah, we can squeeze it in. Do this. Make it nice. All right. UDAO. 45. Not bad. It's the lowest of them all, but $83, man. We can't afford that. We're broke as hell. But yeah, man, I'll leave that on for now. Is it 3x though? Is UDAO 3x? Let me know. Let me know, JD Invest, and I'll leave it on there. I'm assuming it. I hope it is. Or else it's getting off here. We only trade leverage. Marty, yes, you caught me live, and you got coffee. Good, because I need more coffee. Oh, thank you. Triple leverage. All right. Yeah. It's on there. It's expensive, but it's on there. It has the lowest IV and it's most expensive. So it's the last I would trade for sure. But it's on my list. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Good stuff, JD Invest. That's a good name. Are you a YouTuber? Marty Gra says it's great to be able to work in a fog. Is it foggy or are you fogged from going out last night? All right. Anyway, let's look at the let's keep going. All right. So we rolled the 11. That's okay. We rolled it down here. So you see it down here. We'll get to that in a second. And we're just going line by line. All right. So we sold a covered call on TSLL of $14, right? Now in this one, TSLL price would have to be above the 14 for this to be exercised. So the question was, did TSLL land below $14? And the answer is yes, right? Because it was $12.65. So this right here expired worthless. So what does that mean? Nothing. It means I still keep my shares. All right. And here's another put, yet another put. This put, though, was 12. It was close, right? Since they closed at 12.65. What does that mean? This one expired worthless. All right. So we're moving on here. We're making progress. And then we got a call right here. This was close too. Again, I highlighted the close ones. This was a $13 call. I get to the point yesterday. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not rolling any. I rolled the 11. I probably shouldn't have. I should just let that go. But whatever. I let it go. I let everything else go. I said, peace. But anyway, this did not go because obviously the call strike. Oh, wait. Yeah, that was a put. Sorry. Yeah, the call strike is above the price. So this expired worthless. All right, moving on. Here's another call, 1350, obviously even higher. So this one expired worthless as well. And keep going down the line. Everything else, though, is for next week. All right. So the question is this correct? So what happened over here? I didn't have any calls get assigned. I only had a put get assigned. So if I had a put get assigned, again, I'm doing this for the first time with you guys, but this is how I kind of do my trades. If I have a put get assigned, I should now have 800 shares when I go into my Thinkorswim, which I'll show you in a second. So I should have 800 shares. And how many covered calls do I have on the 800 shares? Let's see. Again, if you look here, I have 1, 2, 3. This one's a put. So we have 300 shares with covered calls on them. So I'll type 300 here, which for next week, we now have 500 shares to play around with. All right. So if number one, if I go to Thinkorswim, which I will right now, let's see, it's right there. TSLL, I know you guys probably can't see, 800 shares. It says plus 800. So that's good. And then we should see what? 3 covered calls and 1 put. So if I scroll down further, I see 3 covered calls and 1 put. All right. So again, I'm just making sure I'm tracking this correctly. And I am. So that's it. That's the end of, that's TSLL. So what we do, I basically just hide these now, right? We don't have to talk about these anymore. We say bye-bye and we hide these rows. And this is all we got for next week. It's good. Again, fresh week. We're just playing this freaking wheel over and over and over. All right. We go down here. We do have to add something though. We did get a put assignment. The assignment was for June 13th. Actually, I did not have to update. I screwed up. I manually updated the number of shares. So, but anyway, this goes 100. What did I have to buy? I bought at 13, and that's it. And then this gets updated down here. Total shares from the wheel 1300. Total assigned 500. And then this is the number. So this is what calculates the number of shares. So that would have been done automatically. So I screwed that up. So I'm going to fix this. And this is actually a formula. So if I scroll down, all the way. Yeah, so that picks up that. All right. So yes, currently TSLL, I now have 800 shares and 300 covered calls and 500 free. Freedom, 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 freedom. All right. So how much did I win on TSLL for the week? Not win, but make. I made $272 in premium, which is it good? Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. Up next, your boy TNA Dynamite. All right. Let's see how they did. But before, I'm taking a sip of water. Wait. We have a video question. I'll cover it. This is from Marty Gras. Any thoughts on adding tax implications, investment income dirty versus return on capital clean into your check for an after-tax ROI? No. I could give 2 craps about the tax on these. I'm just worried about making money. For now, obviously, I'm making income on this. I'm making income on distros. I'm making income on YouTube. So I just increase my W-2 tax for my job, and that kind of covers it. And then I don't worry about it. I don't really care, right? Do I care? Oh, how much did I profit here versus how much tax? What's my net? No, I'm just focusing on making overall profit here. All right. The tax is what it is. It's a freaking ripoff. It's ridiculous what we pay in taxes, but it is what it is. So, but no, I don't calculate tax in the overall return on investment, with options. My goal is just to make an overall profit. Actually, the goal with this account, which I'll show you in a second, is there's a certain amount I need to make each month. And if I meet that, great. Again, that's the goal. I'm just focusing on that goal each and every month. And that's it. And again, I'll get to that in the end. But yeah, sorry, I don't really look at taxes like that. Good morning, Silver Liner. All right, so this is my other fund that I'm trading at the moment. It's TNA. All right, again, I didn't update anything, so we're doing this live with you guys. So what did TNA close at? It's actually right here too, so I don't have to scroll down. It closed at $30.53. So I had a covered call here, $34 strike price, well above 30, right? So obviously you can imagine, yep, this expired worthless. So yeah, why is that? Can I shrink this? No. Yeah. The other sheet was it much better. Yeah. All right. This expired worthless. Yep. All right, so that's good. I got it on the screen. All right, here's another covered call, 35. Of course, yep, expired worthless. That's easy. All right, this one I already did a buy to close, so we can move on. Now, right here, this is a covered call at 31. Current, what they close at, 30.53. This is rather close, but I'm going to assume this did not get assigned and this expired worthless. We'll find out in the end. And then we'll go here. And then we'll see, okay, covered call 33, again, above 30.53. So this expired worthless. All right, easy enough. Selling covered calls, making money. All right, so what's this one? This one we added this week. This is a $36 strike price covered call. This ended up, what? Expiring worthless. Good, awesome. Now we're selling puts. This is the put party. What's going on here? All right, we had a put. This was a $30 put. $30. All right. Did TNA close below $30 and have this get assigned? No, it closed above by 53 cents. So again, I would assume this one also expired worthless. Now this 31 and this 32, these were puts. These were going to get assigned, but instead of letting it get assigned, I decided to roll them, and I rolled them for a decent, amount. I got 59 bucks and I got 70 bucks overall credit. You could see the buy to close is in here, right? It cost me, this is the 32. It cost me $1.19 to close the 32 early, but I got $1.78 for opening the new position. So the overall rolling order, I got a 59-cent per share credit. So to me, that was well worth it. And the 31, I did even better, right? It cost 50 cents to close that one, right? Because if you think about it, look, $31, 30.53. Cost me 50 cents. It was towards the end of the day, right? So I essentially just paid what the gap was, right? Obviously there was some time value left too, but you get what I'm saying, hopefully. But anyway, I got $1.20 credit for the new position. So you subtract out the 50 cents. That's a 70-cent credit per share, which is 70 bucks, which is good stuff, man. It's good stuff. All right. So yeah, that's it. So when I go to my Thinkorswim, I should see 2 puts open, and the number of shares that I own should be the same. If I go down here, it should be unchanged and show 500. All right, so let's just make sure. I should see 500. Let's see, 500 shares. Yep, and 2 puts. Great. Perfect. Okay, so that's it. That's TNA. Dynamite. All right. So now how many covered calls do I have? Well, if you look up above, right, we just went through that. They all expired worthless. I got nothing. I got no covered calls. That's awesome, right? Because if Monday opens green, we're going to have a party. So I'm going to update this to 0. And now I have 500, all 500 shares uncovered. So if Monday opens red, yeah, it's going to suck. Yeah, it'll suck, but I'll have to sell puts, and it is what it is. But if Monday opens green, selling calls. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so how much money did I make on TNA this week? I made $204, okay? $204. So between the two, my monthly income that I made is $476, which is pretty sweet. My goal is 351. All right. Why is my goal 351? Well, I do have that on the Misty tab. I don't know why it's on here, but it just landed here. Because, well, it's basically because it's depending on the Misty dividend, because I do own 500 shares of Misty in this same account. So I have a goal each and every month. And it's on it's on this tab here, and I'll show you it. For the month of June, my goal is to bring in $2,138 in income. All right. Keeping in mind, I have $1,300 come out of this account for the mortgage. This account pays the mortgage, so my active income, my job, does not have to. So my goal is simply $2,138. All right. So going over here, how much did I make from Misty? I made $735 for the month of June. Okay. So my options goal is the number we just mentioned, 2,138, right? Going back, minus E43, the dividend, and that leaves me 1,400 as the goal. That's my options income goal. 4 weeks in the month of June, that's $351 a week. So that's why I have 351 as the breakdown here. So if I have a number that meets or exceeds, it would say goal met. If not, I'll rank the shortfall. But as of right now, yeah, I'm over both weeks so far. How much? Let's see. 115 the prior week, and this week 125. So I'm ahead of schedule by $240. So that's extra money beyond my goal that I get to reinvest back into the account. All right. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to go catch up on some comments, and then we'll go from there. We are an hour and 16 in. Damn. All right. Is this retire in the Philippines? Yeah, man, for how cheap it is there, it's crazy. It's nuts, man. All right, 43%. Awesome. All right. Uh-oh. Silverliner says, Rod, I'm a historical trader. This coming week historically is the worst week of June. You better buy some puts, brah. I don't buy puts, brah. I don't. And then, should I? Probably. Again, I'm not. I have never bought a put, and I've never bought a call. I've only been on the selling side because I'm an income investor, right? I'm not here to predict the stock market. All right. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to make income while not getting my ass kicked. That's pretty much my goal. So I sell puts and I sell calls. I sell puts and I sell calls. The only time I'm a buyer is if I'm doing a buy to close, and that's pretty much it. Real quick too, I'm going to go to the retire now tab. So yeah, I try to yield 50% of my overall capital goal each month. So this 2,138, it's 50% of what? Of the capital basically from the prior month, because you're assuming that's the capital that you're starting with. So this obviously is going to increase each and every month. So if I go down, I think I have it all the way up to 2030. Ideally, in 2030, I should be producing about $13,700 in income, or more, could be less. We don't know. And I think, again, having a goal of 50% yield is very, very doable doing my own options. Of course, while holding Misty as well, because we know Misty yields more than that. But again, it has to perform and go upwards. So Misty's kind of like my my treasuries, right? It's the money that's chilling there. If I ever need it, I could use it, right? But right now, I actually use it as an option too. I sell options on, Misty when I can. But all right, so that's the update. Any questions, guys? Anything you want to talk about on this spreadsheet? Options related? Anything at all? Whole house is awake, so I should probably end it anyway. But yeah. Anyway, let me check. All right, so what do we got? We still got 194 just chilling, hanging out with us in this morning. Oh, we're up to 200. So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is the group estimates. It should be a fun time, right? It's group what? What do we got? Group B? Yeah, should be a good one. We got Nvidia, PLTY. I'll basically guess what they're paying, and then we'll go from there. What's my prediction on GDXY? I don't know. Are they part of Group B? The heck? Stupid scroll. Yeah, they are. What's my prediction? I don't know. But these are the again, you guys know I use this, and then to get the, but they don't have a profit. They did not make a profit, so it's going to be pretty much the IV. You know, no surprise there. All right. Yeah, Sunday morning is always estimates. Yep. You tell them, Mano. You tell them every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. Saturday, I'm not always live, but I may start to just do live. It's just so much easier for this. But yeah, I don't know. So what the heck was I saying? Yeah, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Fun and entertainment. We got all that, right? We got all that. We added UDAO, thanks to, I forget who mentioned it, but it's now another triple leverage index option. Unfortunately, it's the most expensive and the least volatile. But again, when all things done, when we're retired, we have a lot of money, we could trade all 4 of these and TSLL, right? We'll have a freaking blast with that. Also, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. And if you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below. If you have a video question, you got to type in video question and then type the question, and then I'll cover it in the video. All right, sound good? Life of dividends. You see my email with the spreadsheet. I don't think so. No, I don't know. I think I saw your video about it. I assume you're talking about TSLY. But again, I don't know. The price is way up. For what? Well, I assume you're talking about GDXY. So yeah, that should be shown on the price change. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Silverliner, I expect you up and here at 6:30 a.m. with these questions. All right. We'll go over GDXY at that moment. I promise. Yeah, we should talk about that fund though. We talked about it last week though. I think we did a kind of a little dive into it. No, thank you very much. All right. Here we go. Kevin's got a question before we head out. I want to get into options. You have mentioned to go to the Discord. Where in the Discord is the best place to go? Options channel. There's a channel called options, right? Just go there. I don't know if it's called options trading or options, but it's options something. So yeah, once you join the Discord, you have to click that channel, say, hey, it's me. I'm Kevin. I'm learning options. Please help. And then you'll have like a million messages. I'll help you. I'll help you. No, probably won't be like that. Probably, maybe sarcastic comments, but no, for real, there's a lot of good people in there that are willing to help. Or you can tag me. I'll do what I can. Again, you guys know what I know. I know enough to do what I need to do, and that's it. But the people in there, they're well advanced options traders. I'm just like your average Joe Schmo schmuck that knows very little. But again, like I said, I only want to know just enough, right? I don't have any brain cells left to learn anymore at the moment. But when I do have a few extra brain cells when I'm done working, sure, maybe I'll learn a little more, a little bit. But when you join the Discord, please note, I will not direct message you. Neither will the moderators, all right? And neither will anyone else. So block, report, delete. That's 4:30 where you're at. Sorry, man. I don't know. I mean, I can't really go any later. But yeah, options. Oh, there it is. Brothers. See, Brothers always got my back here. It's options trading. Sarcasm is yep, exactly. Very a lot of sarcasm in the Discord, which makes it fun. All right. Yeah, that's it, man. So we got to the end of the video, hour and 24 minutes. Good Lord. So if you made it to the end of the video and you want to prove it, you have to type down below the keyword. The keyword is going to be given by someone here in the live chat. So if you have a wonderful keyword for the community, please announce your keyword. All right. What is your keyword of the day based on what we covered today? Anything spectacular? Or am I going to have to make up my own? Is it UDAO, right? We added UDAO to the group of degenerate plays, triple leverage, as if double leverage is not enough. Triple leverage, locked in, right? Locked and loaded. We should cover these one day in detail. We'll just pull up the website and just see what it says about it. But yeah, so again, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. Keyword today is, well, no one gave me anything except brother was the first one. Today's keyword is 3x leverage, baby. As many of you know, 3x leverage is no longer a thing. You cannot get approved for 3x leverage. But these suckers right here, see these guys on the screen? Grandfathered in. Oh, yeah, that's right. Grandfathered in. That's what we're talking about. So we have triple leverage. We could trade options on all four of these like a true degenerate because 1x leverage is for suckers. 3x leverage is for the real men who are ready to make some bank, brah. So today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video, it's 3x leverage. Look at this. Look at this. Patriot Defense Company finally waking up. You know, let's give him a shout out. Go check out his channel. He's a friend of mine, but he just started YouTube. If you guys are interested in gun safety and all that jazz and some random shorts, go give him some watch hours. He needs it, right? He needs it, man. He needs it. He needs it. Put your channel in. All right, Patriot. All right, let me end it there. So like I said, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it to me and others, you have to type 3x leverage in the comments below. Thank you all for joining the live. Thank you all for watching after. Thank you all for making it to the end of the video. And I will see you tomorrow for the Group B guesstimates. Same thing, we'll go live, but we'll just do the guesstimates and we'll have fun with it. All right, nothing too serious. All right, so just relax, just chill, have some coffee, do whatever you want. And silver lining, I hope you can get up. If not, well, we'll cover what you need to when you get up. All right, sound good? If I'm still live, of course. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.